we are MDP Group 11A and welcome to our video. Today we're going to have a chat talking about what we've learnt in our first semester of MDP1. So first of all we're going to hear from Fiona and she'll be talking about negotiations.
The negotiation topic of MDP was very useful as it is a key skill all managers must possess in the business world. For anyone to be successful in negotiation, they should thoroughly prepare a solid strategy and argument and predict what the opposite party will put forward so practical solutions can be suggested. It must be understood that the outcome of a negotiation is not one person getting everything they want. Negotiation results in each party making a compromise but gaining an advantage for themselves at the same time. In the group activity of the MDP session, each group was paired with another to practice their negotiation skills. In our role play, our team was a group of students trying to negotiate pay rise with their managers. This was a very enjoyable task and should definitely be used in future MDP years. Next up is Jessica, who is going to tell us about stakeholders.
MDP taught us that a stakeholder is a person, a group, or an organisation that has an interest or a concern in an organisation. Internal stakeholders are groups within the business, whilst external stakeholders are groups outside a business. Stakeholders can affect or be affected by the organisation's actions, objectives, or policies. Some examples of key stakeholders are creditors and directors, employees, government, and of course the community from which the business draws its resources. However, not all stakeholders are equal. A company's customers are entitled to fair trading practices, but they are not entitled to the same consideration as a company's employees are. Although there are many more benefits, such as using stakeholders includes varied perspectives from all sectors and elements of the community that are affected, creating social capital whilst also increasing the chances of success.
Now we're going to hear from Beth, who'll be sharing her thoughts on corporate social responsibility.
Corporate social responsibility is the obligation organisations have to internal and external stakeholders to behave ethically and think of the bigger picture. Throughout MDP, we've learnt a lot on the positive and negative influences of adopting CSR policies have on organisations. CSR is becoming an unwritten law amongst large multinationals and small businesses, and a growing concept we will see more in the coming decades. CSR performs commitments which go beyond that of wealth creation and more of moral wealth by behaving in ways which cater to society's wider needs, starting from environmental concerns to transparency and anti-corruption campaigns. Integrating these positive influences into organisations gains trust as well as a competitive edge for organisations, while simultaneously linking the supply chain with those who exert an influence on the business. Adopting CSR policies reach mutual gains beyond that of profit maximisation for organisations and caters to the wider needs of society and the aids of development of communities alike.
So we're moving on to Danielle, who's going to talk a little bit about emerging and disruptive technology.
Technology has been essential for businesses who aim to become global operations. It has made communication and transportation more efficient, making it easier for branches of a company in different countries to operate together and provide a standardised product or service to their company. One example of the developments in technology is the ability of companies to sell their products online. This is highly beneficial to customers as it provides them with the opportunity to order goods from the comfort of their own home at a time which is suitable for them. The business also benefits from this as their sales will increase due to the wider market reached. However, there are risks to both parties, particularly involving the security involved in entering bank details online. The consumer must be able to trust that the business will keep these details secure, and the business should spend time and money ensuring this. In the future, it is predicted that technology will develop further, so businesses must constantly adapt to these changes to ensure it gains the benefits available.
And last but not least, we're going to look at a more topical subject matter, as Elina is going to talk about the financial crisis.
In September 2008, the housing market in the USA suffered a shock collapse which led to the beginning of the banking collapse, also known as financial crisis. This crisis was caused mainly because of management and control issues which could have been avoided and minimized. The fact that the economy was in a stable condition due to high productivity displays that the contrast of its state when the housing prices dropped dramatically, which was not caused by the natural events of the economy. Instead, it was due to subprime loans issued by banks, which caused many homeowners to take out mortgages and loans that they ultimately could not pay back. In order to avoid this from happening again in future, banks should implement greater analysis of their decisions. Furthermore, in order to gain trust from the general public, they could issue reports on a termly basis, so that everyone can have a better understanding of why and how banks actually work.